Hi friends, brothers and sisters. My name is Francis, and welcome to the Advent special of Pathways of Hope Became Flesh. In today's Gospel, we hear about the foretelling of the birth of John the Baptist. The angel of the Lord, Gabriel, appeared before the priest Zechariah. Gabriel then announced that his wife Elizabeth will give birth to a son who will be named John. And John will be great in the sight of the Lord. John will go on before the Lord to prepare the people for his coming. And this Lord is the one we call Jesus. But Zechariah questioned this, for he and his wife were old, and his wife was unable to conceive. And thus, in Luke chapter 1 verse 20, the angel Gabriel said, "And now you will be silent, and not be able to speak until the day this happens, because you did not believe my words, which will come true at their appointed time." Silent, unable to speak, unable to make a sound. I reflected deeply on this word silent, and I learned that silence can mean many different things. In today's Gospel, silence was a form of punishment for Zechariah's unbelief. Much later in this chapter, on the 8th day after John's birth, Zechariah was finally able to speak again during the time for the naming of the child. His first words were words of praise for God, for his tongue was finally set free. But for 9 months or more, Zechariah could not speak. I can't imagine how difficult and painful it must have been for him, knowing that he is a priest and one of his primary duties would be to speak and to lead people into prayer. I also don't know if this is still done until now, but when I was young, children who misbehaved were sent to their room as a form of punishment, because inside the room, the child had no one to speak to, and so he was forced into silence. Silence as a form of punishment can be both cruel and humbling at the same time. Once the child is allowed out of his room, only then can he speak. And by this time, most children have been sufficiently humbled to say sorry for what they had done, while at the same time silently rejoicing because they have been freed from their punishment. My friends, can you recall the last time you were forced into silence? Maybe at home or maybe even at work? How did it feel? And how did it change you? When someone who is, especially those who are close to us, hurt us deeply, one of the most cruel forms of punishing that person would be giving him the silent treatment. And that other person would feel very bad about themselves because you're no longer speaking to them. And to a certain extent, sometimes we feel that God is giving us the silent treatment as well. Have you ever felt hurt by God because He is not answering your prayers? Have you ever been in anguish because it felt that your prayers were falling on deaf ears? How long did you have to wait before your prayers were answered with a yes or no? And finally, silence is a form of communication, an internal dialogue. In 1 Samuel chapter 1 verses 13 to 15, it says, "Hannah was praying silently. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she was drunk. So Eli said to her, 'How long will you make a drunken spectacle of yourself? Put away your wine.' But Hannah answered, 'No, my lord. I am a woman deeply troubled. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I have been pouring out my soul before the Lord.' For us Christians, silence is a form of prayer, a personal, intimate dialogue with the Lord. Our lips may not be moving, but in the silence of our hearts and minds, we are communicating with God. We praise Him, we thank Him, we complain to Him, we ask of Him, and all of these without making a sound. Our silent prayers can be as short as a few seconds. When we close our eyes and tell God in silence, Lord, thank you so much. I was not late for my meeting today. Or maybe, Lord, please help me. It's gonna be a long, long day. Or silence could be an hour or more as we sit quietly inside the chapel, eyes closed or focused on the altar, the cross, or the exposed host, lost in our thoughts and prayers with the Lord. Friends, when was the last time you were truly silent because you had so much to say to the Lord? What did you talk about? Let me end by saying Christmas is here, and Christmas in the Philippines is noisy, colorful, vibrant. Many of us attend several Christmas parties, buy so many gifts, receive so many gifts. I've had 2 Christmas parties so far. I have 2 more before Christmas Day, and at least 2 more after Christmas Day. But I encourage you, in the midst of the Christmas festivities and chaos, make time to be silent before Jesus. Greet Him a happy birthday, praise Him for who He is in your life, thank Him for all the blessings you have received and all the challenges you were able to overcome this year, and boldly ask of Him things you want and hope for in your future. If you have been blessed by this short reflection, please like and share Pathways of Hope to your friends and loved ones. Again, my name is Francis. Thank you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.